The thing that I think I'd like readers to take away from a lot of my work is the sense that we always have to fight to remain human. Science fiction really has always been, even though it appears to be about the future, has always very much been about the present that the author was living in. So even books like The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, which is about the very, very far future, it's about millions of years in the future when humankind has evolved into different species. And yet at the same time, it also is really about like what was going on in Britain in 1900 as you have social unrest and the sense of the laboring class getting angry at the fact that there's a nobility that is oppressing them in a particular way. You know, all of that kind of thing. Science fiction often is a great way to tell a kind of a fable about how the world is right at that moment. So a lot of the books I write come out of a sense of anxiety of what's happening in the world around me. I feel like, writers are supposed to write what they're passionate about. And for me, I'm passionate about the future and where we're going. And so for me, a lot of my science fiction writing is in fact really much more about describing the world even as it is right now and trying to kind of capture or crystallize a particular feeling that I have about how the world is working. So in Feed, it really is about that feeling of always being sold to. Then my new book, Landscape with Invisible Hand, which just came out about a month ago, feels to me more about a very different moment in American cultural history. The moment when we start to realize, oh wait, we are the ones who actually are always having to sell ourselves. We are never secure. We always have to be peddling our own personas, our own, we're trying to create profiles on social media or whatever else that others will be impressed by. So we're always trying to sell ourselves. We're looking for jobs. We're worried that work is going to evaporate for us. There's this feeling that if I do not make my mark quickly enough, I don't know how I'm going to support myself. There's a real trend, it seems to me, in American culture right now towards the celebration of selfishness. We always have to fight to remain generous to each other, to remain respectful of each other, because it's so easy to take each other for granted, to become, in one way, cruel towards each other, destructive towards each other. So I really think that it's time to pause, both for people on the left and on the right, to pause and say, what does it mean to be a country that seems to be devoid of an ethical sense at the moment, that seems to celebrate strength and selfishness over a sense of what a society can accomplish, the amazing things a society can accomplish when people actually are contributing together to make things better for everyone simultaneously.